have time to breastfeed their baby. But counsel them not to misuse the opportunity. And even now, and this was an interesting something that was said by our neighbor Force Maureen at our webinar, which is very good. Even these days of online, that some people can work from home. Now, even before we get our maternity leave for 24 weeks, our mothers can begin to work from home for the remaining 2 months. Now, the federal government gives us 16 weeks, isn't it? It's 16. It used to be 12, but it's now 16. Unless some people are not enforcing it, but it's 16. And we are now doing advocacy for 24 weeks and even asking for paternal leave. And then the UN, they have like 10 to 12 days maternal leave, you know. So even before we achieve that milestone, you know, our mothers who are well motivated can, even when they can be allowed to work from home for the next 3 months. That way they will work and they will see also breastfeed their. So it's just a new idea that can be explored. We talked about instituting maternity and paternity leaves and breastfeeding breaks, enforce WHO international code. Yes, Nigeria should enforce their national regulation on marketing of breast milk and breast milk stocks to make sure that producers align with the set rules. Facilitate adequate funding. Wherever you are, you're in a position to ensure funding, to influence funding. Ensure that there is adequate funding for nutrition, and particularly breastfeeding, for capacity building, for breastfeeding education, and for all women, but particularly the expectant mothers. Now we're doing through AS, but now they need a lot of support. So we have to expand our tentacles and our reach to even other people who will ensure that that happens. Next slide. And then at the health facility level, what can women do? Women should go ahead and ensure that these documents, the BFI guideline, is implemented. Domesticate it. Everything has been listed for you what to do. Follow it. Ensure you drive that my facility must be a baby-friendly facility. Go ahead to maintain, achieve the criteria and be designated as one, and build capacity of your health workers on the BFI, the practices, the hospital, community, and workplace. Advocate, establish the facility as BFI friendly, baby friendly. Facilitate, is it up to 1 hour? I gave me 1 hour in the program, but give me time, can let me know how many more minutes I have. Facilitate and ensure breastfeeding practices in normal and special circumstances, as instituted and monitored in Nigeria by the BFI. I talked about normal and special circumstances, like we talked about the babies in equal. There's no point closing an eye to it. It's better we confront it, give the right information so that the right thing is done. Enforce national regulation on marketing of breast milk substitute. Foster establishment of support groups. Next slide, please. At the community, family and community level, what can we do? Maintain breastfeeding support through linkages to the grassroots or community support groups. Establish mother-to-mother support groups and all that. Counsel and mobilize family members, fathers, and I'm glad I'm seeing a lot of fathers and men in this place. You know, they are the movers and shakers. God has given them that privileged position. You can't take it away from them. So we have to manage that position very well and turn down like the way it's supposed to go. And sensitize and mobilize traditional and religious leaders to support exclusive breastfeeding. Next slide, please. Conclusion. To conclude, with all we have said already this afternoon, breastfeeding practices, including exclusive breastfeeding, reduce incidence of malnutrition, child malnutrition particularly, stunting, wasting, micronutrient deficiency in the child. Like all we know, the breast contains all those micronutrients in the right proportion. Improves the child's survival, growth, and development. For a third, they say we are low or middle income country. Who else needs breastfeeding? Much more, if not us. We do. Improve neurological development of the child, leading to increased productivity and economic advancement of the nation. I don't know about you, but I want all my generation to have very high IQ and be in a position to lead and engender change. And finally, improve the nutritional status and health outcomes of Nigeria. We all want to be healthy. We want to achieve Sustainable Development 3, which is focused on the well-being of all Nigerians, leaving nobody behind. So with that, I round up and say, thank you for your kind attention. Thank you so very much. Can we appreciate her again? Thank you so very much, ma'am. When I can tell you, what can we do? What can women do? You know, that grabbed my attention. That's the food for thought for us, even as you continue meeting. Can we picture and think through? What can women do to change the narrative? Thank you so very much, ma'am. Our online participants, can you hear us, please? Hello, online participants. Ali, Murtala, Ronas, Ahmad.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Thank you for staying on. If you have questions, you just drop them on the chat box. I will respond. We'll just take maybe 2 questions for Dr. First to hand. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll take this 4.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for the good presentation. I just want clarification about at what point do we put the baby to breast? I see in this the CS-SUNN words on marble. When a baby is out of the mother's womb, he or she should be put straight to breast. Then doctor said 1 hour after death. Then within the week, as we were discussing, another mother said 30 minutes. So please, for us that are going out to teach, what is the right time for the baby to be put to the breast? Thank you.
Okay, so yes, we want to contribute to that. He's not sure, doctor. Ma,
you are not in the question.
There's a question for you. So, sorry, ma. Okay, can you please recap? So sorry.
Thank you very much. My question is to know the right time for the baby to be put to breast. From the CS-SUNN words on marble, when a baby is out of the mother's womb, he or she should be put straight to breast. Then you said 1 hour, the baby should be put to breast. Then I said, as we were discussing day before yesterday on exclusive breastfeeding, I was told that it's 30 minutes after death. So my question is, what are we going home with? So that when you talk, you will talk authoritatively as somebody that have gotten the right knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that question. Yes, you know, we keep updating information. before, there was a time it was 30 minutes, but currently now, evidence shows that, and what we're running forward is that it should be within the first hour from the time the baby was delivered. Let's say the baby was delivered at 4 o'clock. From 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Is that 1 hour? Yes. Is that 1 hour? Yes. Within that 1 hour period, that baby must be put to breast to initiate breastfeeding. Why was that time given? You know, depending on different ways the child came. You have to clean up the baby, you have to do 1 or 2 things. So it was adjudged that would give adequate time to ensure. And also this time was also pre-tested physiologically and found to be effective to ensure breastfeeding is initiated at the right time. And if it's initiated within that time, there is sustained flow. Because if you don't start at the right time, it also has its own consequences. Thank you. Do you want to add? I think you have said it now. It is within 1 hour. We were being optimistic in Nigeria when we developed our own Nigerian policy. And we said, we know our country, we know our people. So let us put it at 30 minutes. But the correct thing is within, even the 30 minutes is within the 1 hour. So, but the correct thing is within 1 hour of delivery. In the past, the woman will deliver, they will take the baby away, go and bath the baby, go and do this. And then by the time, let the mother rest before you come back. But within that 1 hour, if we are able to clean the baby a bit, if not, put the baby to the breast, even the way he came, that's what we're preaching, within the first hour of delivery. All right? Yes. Oh, sorry. Somebody wanted. Yes, I want to ask a question. You wanted to make a contribution. Can we take numbers, please? Can I just say something? Yes. Just to provide more clarity. The cleaning of the baby is just the nurses. I'm not talking focus from hospital to the nurses just clean off you call over the baby, because if you don't, it will help the baby's temperature to go down. They just clean, they wipe, and then use olive oil and all that. It's not putting in water. It's not basing immediately. Once baby come and they clean, within a space of less than 10 minutes, it's done, and they just put the baby to a breast. Can we see the hands? Okay. Next question. It's not a question, but the actions we need to take based on this presentation. We are coming back, please. We are taking it from one side to the other. Sorry. Okay, please. Please. Can I continue? Yes. After you. Okay, and what do we do after, from this presentation? There are issues raised. And the fact is that some states, 4 states, Lagos, Oyo, Ekiti, and Kaduna, they've started the 6 months maternity leave. We, at the federal level, given all the policies and doing the talking, we've not done anything. So we need to take some action. She just had an experience that the 4 months in her office has been reduced to 3 months. And it was backed with a document from the head of service. So we need to do something at this level. So, and I know that the CS-SUNN, Prime Minister of Health, Women Affairs, because their minister will help us. We know how to approach this issue with level of productivity and with head of service. So we need to discuss after this meeting so that we start acting. Thank you very much. Thank you for that.
That's my own question. Forget something. I'm not. See this one. If you put that for the this one. My mother told me, and I believe, you put something like cloth, soft cloth, to the baby's head. Like this. You see this thing, it's very painful to the child. You don't feed the child, you press it there. Now what? And what's my experience with this when my daughter, my first daughter, wanted to have a baby, I went with her. At a stage, they were in that room. I heard a doctor say, give me forceps, give me forceps. I entered the room, I said nothing like forceps here. You go, baby head stop. You want to put the forceps, try and come out, bring it down. I don't agree. They said this one or that. I said, come on, let me come out. Carry on. Now, so my daughter, my daughter-in-law, I said, open your leg, look, come on, this man want to kill my child. We went to Zaki. The head was already there. My friend in Jos, they used that forceps to draw the head. The child, they look like this now. I make me say no. And the mommy didn't know that. Destroy that child. Now, what have you done?
Sorry, I know there are lots of comments coming. I can see hands, but we need to work with our time. We need to work with our time. Please. The next question.
You know, we are talking about the parastatals, the government organizations. What about the private sectors? Where some people, even 2 months, 1 month maternity is not visible. Some of them, after 1 month of delivery, they now go to work, leaving their babies at home so that they will survive. What are we doing and what are we going to do about them? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Vanguard, for that great presentation. And then I want to say that if we don't do what we need to do, the next 10 years we'll still be here talking about the same issue. I want to know, I'm happy the Federal Ministry of Health is here, and I want to know, it's beautiful we have lovely policies, but I have an issue with implementation, especially for us that are working in the communities, in hard to reach areas. I know what I'm talking about. And my problem is, what is the government doing? What stringent measures are they putting in place to ensure that health workers, especially, comply to exclude, especially early breastfeeding initiation for the baby? My first child, when I was having my first son 7 years ago, because I had a C-section, and then the nurses, and I mean a tertiary facility, said my husband should go and buy baby food or whatever. Okay, then I had not known. When I had my second baby, I had the same C-section, and the nurses came and told me, sure, 10 of us were moved from the theater that very day. And when she told me, because I had knowledge of IYCF, infant your child feeding practice, I said, no, why are you doing that? I refused to buy it, but the other women did that. My cousin put to bed in this Abuja 2 weeks ago, and the same nurse told her to go and buy a substitute. I had to come and start counseling her. Please, what stringent measures are we ensuring that health workers comply? They are our problem. If not, these statistics we are having here, it won't change. In the next 5 years, we'll still be here gathered talking about the same issue. Thank you.
What stringent measures are we putting in place? In case I forget, remind me, because I want to chip in a word for Mama, but the issue Mama raised. Because it's not good that we live here confused. There's an adequate way to support a baby, to breastfeed. You don't take the breast to the baby, you bring the baby to the breast. And once you put your hand, well, God has made it such that you have enough subcutaneous fat, okay? Not just me, but the mother's baby is soft and succulent enough. You know, you hold the baby, but you support both the trunk, that's the body of the baby, and the head of the baby. Well, you know, when you cotton this, you can see that even if you move this way, the baby is comfortable. If you don't support the two,
And then it's such a way that the baby's face can see the mother. Bonding is happening. And then the mother's trunk is to the baby's mother's trunk. Warmth is going on, you know. So once you do the ideal thing, there is no problem for the baby or for the mother. I think, even speaking from experience, at least I'm a mother of 4. Yes, thank you. And then, I don't want us to go away here afraid of maybe forceps, or even though in that area too, they have quality improvement measures they are putting in place. Even now, forceps delivery is no longer as common as we say vacuum delivery. But those things, no doctor wants to use them either. It's only situations that call for them. And even if there has been wrong, people it impacted negatively due to various reasons, which we don't have time to go into. What was the skill of the person who applied it? So many issues. There are several uncountable number of babies that are doing very well with very high IQ and that survived and are living today through the mercy of forceps and vacuum. It depends on in whose hands is it. Okay, now addressing stringent measures that health workers are the problems we have. Like we highlighted in the presentation. In fact, we know we all here know that many people have alluded to that fact that our problem is not turning out policies and guidelines and documents. We may have a problem getting it adequately distributed to all health workers, and that is due to poor funding. But however, in this country, Nigeria, there is what they call division of labor. The federal have their own jurisdiction. They have their work to do. The states, you also have your work to do. In fact, who is the custodian of the health of the people? Is the governor of each state. And should take ownership and responsibility to ensure that both at the state and community level, alongside with the local government chair, my people's health are well taken care of. My health workers are doing well. So when the guidelines are rolled out, it is not just for the federal. The federal have rolled out, their work is to roll out those guidelines, yes? We don't do it alone, we also carry everybody along, all the states, in collaboration with the states, okay? And all even workers at the committee level. When we roll this out, we also have a mandate. It's our prerogative to give technical assistance to states to guide you and say, okay, this document is there. You as a state, take it. Ensure your workers use it, implement it. It's you that will drive it. We will not leave Abuja and come to your state and start driving your workers to do it. It is not right. You don't go to another man's house and are you getting what I mean? It is the state. We have had situations where some states, the political will is there, the understanding is there, and they take up the responsibility, and they have driven in some key interventions, even though it may not be holistic approach. So what am I just saying? Let the state play their role, let the federal play their role, let primary healthcare development agency at that level play their own role to ensure that all workers at primary healthcare levels are trained, capacity is built, and they implement these documents rightly. Let the state ministries of health also take responsibility to ensure that secondary health work facility level workers. The same thing applies. There is nutrition education, there is breastfeeding education going on, there is implementation of the BFI guideline. And let the federal also take responsibility for their own area. If maybe there is need to domesticate, and the federal usually, we were able to, with support of our partners, Just like people don't have funding at the state, and the federal also have challenges. That's why we keep running after our partners. So even the what partners bring is we noted that it's less than 5 or is it 10% of the money spent on that. So what is happening to every other thing? So the way we run around to ensure we deliver, state people should run around and ensure they deliver. Stop sitting and waiting. Many times state people will say they are waiting for the national cake. There is nothing like national cake. Or will I say the budget for the federal does not include the states. State is also autonomous. I don't know if I've answered your question. So the responsibility is on you and me, all of us. That's why I said time has come when we should empower our women with knowledge. That's why you see people that went to school, they do better. Because if I'm in the hospital and I know I should share my baby and the nurse there doesn't, I'll tell us, me, I know, be my baby. I'll raise my voice. Be the custodian of your health. That is why we should empower ourselves with information, knowledge. And then as a health worker, you too that is living in that hospital. There was this, my colleague, I think I saw her today, Gumi. We work together at National Hospital, you know. The way she is, I know she's a mobilizer. But National Hospital, when I was there, was a very friendly hospital, you know. So at your places of leadership, at your various professional bodies, what are you doing? Sit up. What are you doing? Begin to do what you're supposed to do to ensure the implementation. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you, ma. So we'll just take a very final question. So, ma, we have a question here. The give 1 month maternity leave for nursing mothers.
Okay, that is why I think Mr. Laka will help me here, but let me just say this. That is why we are moving for legislation, not just instituting it in our documents or put in our documents. We want to legislate about maternity and paternity. We believe once you legislate, it is a law that is binding. But again, there are various laws in Nigeria. Me and you, we do not know. Nigerians, you don't like to read. Many of us, we don't know our rights. When you don't know your right, how can you enforce it? It's just like my sister that said the Ministry of yes, said they were denied them. Did you make effort to reach out for the official document which you present? Okay.
Enjoy thinking that it's 16 weeks. So when I was now called, 12 weeks exactly, I put to bed, I'm still breastfeeding. And I'm a living witness. Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry. Please permit me to stand on the already established protocol. Nkiru Noli Okeke is my name. I work with Radio Nigeria. I'm the secretary of Naward FCT. So as we are saying, I put to bed November last year, 2020. So I was enjoying my leave at home when I was called upon at 12 weeks exactly. Thank you. You need to start your story. You need to do your presentation. We need you now. You will be the sober. I said, what? This is just 12 weeks. They said no, that is 12 weeks. There is no more 16 weeks. I said, excuse me. Are you joking? Are you kidding or what? I said, please come to the office. We need your attention to this or something documents. When I came, they gave me the document. I said, please, I don't understand this. Can I get a backup of this? What can I said, it's done everywhere. The distance. I said, please, I need the distance from the head of service so that I'll be able to be convinced that that is 12 weeks. So when I now put further to understand what exactly is happening, or is it that they are doing it to some certain people? If you have people, you will stay long. So now brought the circular. Actually, dated. What's the date on that? I have forgotten. The circular, they gave it to me and I read through 12 weeks. But however, you need to stay 1 month annually before your delivery. So if you did not stay your 1 month, because me, I did not stay. I was like, oh, when I had my first baby, I said, no, I will not take 1 month leave. I'll put everything together so that I will stay more. to help me do my exclusive breastfeeding. So when they now show me that it's 12 weeks, no longer. So if you have not done your 1 month before now, you are forfeiting, it's gone.
So that is to say the 4 weeks, the 4 weeks is 1 month before 3
yes, 1 month before. So that if you have not done that, it's forfeited. So it's 12 weeks you are resuming. So you just feel for us that you are resuming and now go and discuss further with your HOD or department, any person that can help you stay. But as it is now, you are starting. It's 12 weeks. It's no longer 16 weeks as before.
Okay, thank you for that information. And if you permit, if you will, if it's okay with you, we can exchange emails. And if it's okay to also share a copy of that circular from Office of Head of Civil Service, then we'll pull it together with what was done before, and then see how we can move forward from there. I think Professor Dr. Boris wants to say something.
My director, well, I'm surprised to hear what he's saying because I know that in my own organization, they are still observing 16 weeks. The only thing, because I was talking with a Muslim mother yesterday, one of my staff, I asked her, she just delivered and she just resumed. I wanted to know the details, how they do it. And she told me that you are not allowed to take that 16 weeks straight after delivery. Then you take about 4 weeks before delivery. Then after delivery, you use the 12. So it is because you did not take your 4 before delivery. That's why they are telling you that your 12 weeks have expired. So it's still the 16 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. And we sounding applause. Thank you. Thank you. While we were having these discussions, nutrition specialist from UNICEF joined us, Mrs. Chizobasti Vedemba. Please wave to us, ma. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Okay, so we'll go to the next. We have questions from our online participants. Online participants, thank you for staying on. We'll go to the next item on the agenda. Do we have a question?
Not really a question, this is just a comment. So Salmanu Mohammed said that, I just want to comment about exclusive breastfeeding. I think more awareness should be done in communities and facilities.
Thank you, Salmanu. That's the take home for us. Would work with this going forward as partners, as government, as religious bodies, and as various women groups. Thank you so very much. Thank you to our online participants for staying on. At this point, we want to take our keynote address titled Building Change Agents, Women Leaders for Improved Exclusive Breastfeeding in Nigeria. We want to invite the chairman, Nutrition Society of Nigeria, FCT chapter, Dr. Florence Uchendu, to give us the keynote address. Can we please appreciate her? Let's keep clapping.
Is it to record? No. Just pictures.
Hello. Happy are you know you stand up?
There's need for more activities. There is need to conduct sales. There is need to.
I want to welcome all of you once again to this ceremony. And I want to appreciate CS-SUNN for inviting me as a keynote speaker. I want to thank my director, she has made my work easy. Why she has made my work easy is that she has said so many things. What my own work will do is to give you reasons for some of the things she has said, for better understanding. So the topic today says, building change agents, women leaders for exclusive breastfeeding. Whatever I'm going to tell you this afternoon will be on my website. By the time I leave here, I'm going to post it. So feel free and go to the website, www.nutritionplusinitiative.com, and you will read everything I'm going to tell you this afternoon. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, so we know the theme of this thing. I'm not going to afford it. Please go to the next page, because we have heard all this one. I'm not going to afford it. Go to the next. We have heard the theme, the slogan. So breastfeeding is the cornerstone of child survival, nutrition, development, and maternal health. World Health Organization recommended exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 weeks. We have heard it. But where I am going is that the average expected for every country is at least that the exclusive breastfeeding reaches 50%. So what we are approaching is 50%. As we go on, we have seen some of the indices. We will see whether we have reached it or not. Next slide. So today we are gathered. Please go to the next slide. We are gathered building women change agents. When you say that somebody is a change agent, you can also say the person is a champion, a change champion, or a change facilitator. And women are movers. Whatever a woman is determined to do and she puts her hand on it, that thing will succeed. Am I lying? Yes. Except if the woman does not want to do it. Except if that woman does not want to do it. If an average woman decides to achieve something, that thing will not fail. So women, can you clap for yourself? We have gathered today. The topic is saying improve exclusive breastfeeding. Nigeria is women are doing exclusive breastfeeding. But the issue is that it's not good enough. That's why that improved is there. And that's why we have gathered everybody this afternoon to see what we can do. Each and every one of us is a change agent. What can we do in Nigeria to move the exclusive breastfeeding indices from 29% to 50%, which is the world standard, especially from every country? I was invited to Asaba early this year for UN System Summit as a facilitator. I moved from Abuja because I wanted to collect my glasses. This is my glass. Sorry, when I came, when we were taking pictures. So when I moved from Lagos, I decided to enter the private vehicle. And we were sitting through a young lady with a baby of about 1 month. Because when I started talking with her, she told me that her dad just died and they were going to the village. She was going to the village for the burial. But I was using my left eye to monitor her to see what she will do. Whether she's doing exclusive breastfeeding or she has, because already I have seen her bag, everything. When we moved after some time, she brought out flask, hot water. And she brought out a bottle. She brought out food. She brought out, and I said, what are you doing? I said, what are you doing? She said she wanted to give her baby food. I said, you mean you are not doing exclusive breastfeeding? You are carrying Mr. Biggs, going up and down. I don't want to give your child poison. I said, if you don't do exclusive breastfeeding, you have done this baby the worst harm. But any other woman, if you don't give to your baby, you might kill that woman. By the time, of course, I had time with her. We were inside the same vehicle. By the time I finished talking to her, before
before I reached that standard. She had forced the baby to take breast milk about 5 times. I told her, so this is even when you are supposed to do exclusive breastfeeding. You are going home to, because of your daddy's behavior. You don't even know who will do this milk for your baby. Do exclusive breastfeeding. So we are all agents, change agents. This bangle I am wearing is my last baby. I did exclusive breastfeeding for that first 6 months, and I breastfed him until he was 1 year and 5 months. In fact, why I stopped for those my last 2 babies was that their teeth started biting. So I was forced to stop. But the last one now, he's about to do more relax. That last one, I was sitting down one of those days in the sitting room watching television, and he just came in and put this bangle on my hand. And he will just sit and draw me. Some of the drawings you see here is him that did it. He just finished secondary school. When you breastfeed a baby, the IQ intellectual quotient is very high. That baby can really become sick. And you can't even talk about winning because the leg is already strong on the ground. So even when you stop that breast, the baby does not get sick. So exclusive breastfeeding is the standard. Please, can we go to the next slide? We have seen, this is the malnutrition. The indices is so high in Nigeria. Micronutrient deficiencies, our children, 29% of 0.5, approximately 30% of the children are malnourished. Why? Because if you do not start exclusive breastfeeding, the children will be malnourished. And look at the connection to being malnourished. Next slide. I will not waste much time because we have already heard a lot. If you look at this one, now you will see the standard of the indices prevalence of malnutrition across Nigeria, mainly in the north. And this is what exclusive breastfeeding is going to do. So for us, it's a long-term strategy to prevent malnutrition. Next slide. So exclusive breastfeeding means that I see mothers. You might be going and you see a mother giving a child of 1 month. She carries bottle, this water, and she's giving. Some give Fanta, some give biscuits, some give all manner of things. Please, we are change agents. If you live here today, you are no longer permitted to see a mother that is pregnant. You do not talk about exclusive breastfeeding. You are no longer permitted on our streets, everywhere. In fact, 2004, I started my NGO on healthy eating lifestyle. And they will call me in the hospital. There was a hospital very close to me. They called me one of those days because the lady is a member of my church. And she told me, sister, my breast is not running. I have tried and tried. The breast is not running. I had to go to the clinic. I brought one of those things and I cleaned the nipple because the nipple is blocked. I cleaned it and it is a sign that the husband was not playing with the wife. Hello? Hello? Any husband that plays with the wife before she delivers that nipple cannot block. It cannot block. So I cleaned it and she started breastfeeding. She started breastfeeding. Oh, you can see. Can you go to the next slide, please? Next slide, please. Go to page 11. Go to page 11 because of time. We have seen these indices before. 2013, we had 13%. And now it's 29. It's abysmally low. And that's why we are saying women change agents. Improve breastfeeding. We cannot be on 29. That is even if you are in a class and you get 29%, is it not can you even raise your score? The teacher will draw your face and put eyes and nose for you here. Nose. So it's very, very low.
And the brains are here. We have the knowledge all around. The issue with Nigerians now is that we are becoming too selfish. We only know ourselves. You see something wrong, you throw away your face. We should love one another and begin to get interested in what is happening around us. Do not live here and forget the information. We just went there today, don't we change the talk well. When she talked, I don't know, say that time she was living back in my mind. So we are going to implement what we are hearing today. Every woman is carrying Mr. Biggs. Go to the next slide. Mr. Biggs, the best of the best. The best of the best. There is nothing like it. In fact, very, very easy. All you need to do, put your baby on your back and you're off you go. You don't need a man that will follow you to get to the bottle, the bag for hot water, this and that. You don't need to use the money you will use to feed your family to start looking for breast milk, substitute in the back, naan, and so on and so forth. Next slide. But a mother cannot do exclusive breastfeeding without preparing that mother. You cannot, this milk cannot produce without you getting ready for it. When from a baby girl, you have to prepare the baby girl. Look after your girl when she is small. Look after the adolescent girl. In fact, a girl that is looked after very well by the mother will have your age. Because if she is fed very well, if we are building a house and the cement is not enough, with the people find strength, the people find strength. So this exclusive breastfeeding starts when you are young girl, you are baby. So the adolescents, the research has done that adolescents, their micronutrient deficiency is very, very high. So we have to prepare the mother. We are talking about zero water. The emphasis is not even on the baby. The emphasis is on the mother. The mother has to increase the water intake from 9 glasses to 12 glasses to make sure that the water is enough for her and her baby. When your wife is pregnant, the husband serves a role. Even exclusive breastfeeding preparation starts from the home. A woman carries the baby for 9 months. So delivering the baby is not an accident. It's not something that comes by surprise. But some men, when their wives are pregnant, they just do that. A business as soldier. They come in, they go. When the wife that is even pregnant also comes in, she goes. There is preparations to be done. You start picking the things, small. The things, small. Before the last one she will put to bed, that expected the food, the yam, everything is already in the house. Eat very well. The normal woman needs 2,200 more calories of energy to perform today. But a nursing mother, a woman that is breastfeeding, needs an extra 672 calories of energy to be able to produce breastfeeding. Do you know that as you are sitting down, you're spending energy? You need energy to sit down. You need energy to lie down. You need energy to eat your food. There is a certain level of energy for whatever activity you are doing. So if the mother does not eat well, if the woman does not eat well, the breast will be flagging. Have you seen mothers that have delivered? Their breast is just flagging. But if the woman ate, immediately she ate very well when she was pregnant, and she delivers, you bring the hot pepper soup with yam, with the black fish and the spices, and hot water and food. The woman has not eaten. Husbands take note. Mother-in-laws take note. Mother take note. Even the woman that is pregnant, please take note. These are the things we are going to teach them in the antenatal. That the woman that is pregnant must prepare for delivery. The husband must prepare for delivery so that she can eat, bring back with milk. For me, what goes for me is that I drink pap and milk all through the day. Before I sleep in the night, I take pap and milk. And my breast is gone. cough, I'll be begging my baby to take it. In fact, it will stain my body. But if I have not eaten, it will be off. Not that it's not there, but it steers it to run. So that is it. And that will give the woman the energy for lactation. There is production of the milk. Next slide, please. The production of the milk. You put the baby to suckle the breast, like we have said, within 1 hour of the woman delivering. That within is because some women, when they deliver, they are very weak. Some of them are sick. Some of them cesarean. So if a woman delivers, she does not have that energy, she might not be able to give the baby the breast milk. But there are some of them that are healthy. Immediately they deliver, you bring the child, the breast milk. Because the more the child sucks the breast, the more it triggers oxytocin that releases the milk from the pituitary, is released from the pituitary gland, and it was the release of prolactin that increases milk production. So if the baby is not sucking the breast, it will not run. The more it sucks it, the more the milk will come. And you are eating very well. There will be flask, hot water on your table. There will be milk on your table. There will be pap in the fridge. There will be yam, pounded yam, pepper soup with the spices. The Igbos know how to do it. Am I lying here? I am talking out of experience. I have 4 boys. And it's here. And I'm talking out of experience. By the time you give the woman better pepper soup with black fish and pounded yam, hot one and she finishes, she will be sweating. The breast will be running. So let us pay attention to the nutrition of the mother and the baby. We have heard a lot of advantages of exclusive breastfeeding. I'm not going to next slide, please. I'm not going to dwell on it. But the only thing I want to point out here is that one of the importance of exclusive breastfeeding is that it is linked to the 17 SDGs. Exclusive breastfeeding is linked to all of them. Therefore, if a woman does exclusive breastfeeding very well, she will benefit from all the SDGs. Now, next slide, please. Let us look at, because if we understand more, we will appreciate exclusive breastfeeding. Look at the difference between the different meals. Cow milk, human milk. Human milk has correct amount of protein and is easy to digest. Animal milk, too much, difficult to digest. Infant formula, partly corrected. They try to match the normal breast milk, but nobody can match God. God is still God, no matter what you do. The fact, enough of essential fatty acids for brain development. Breast milk has enough essential fatty acids for brain development. The animal lacks it. And they do not have the lipase, is an enzyme that breaks down. Water is enough. Animal and this one, more is needed. And that is why children that are giving baby milk suffer from constipation. They suffer from constipation. Because when you mix it, they will tell you put 1 spoon and quantity. Who in Nigeria has the time to measure it? You have the measuring cylinder to get it. They don't get it. So the baby suffers from constipation. The same way, look at the percentages. And casein is harder to digest. So humans don't have much in their meal. But look at the load in animal and look at the load in the infant formula. And the infant formula, look at the ranges. It depends on who is producing who. It depends on the industry that is producing what you are giving your baby. Next slide, please. So the major difference is the type of fat, protein levels, and type of protein. The amino acid leucine is associated with growth. Animals that grow quickly after birth have higher levels of protein and leucine in their milk. Cows double their birth weight in 40 days, while humans double their bone after 180 days. That is why the protein in human milk is lower than that of the animal, because you know the animal is to be slaughtered. If you are rearing chicken in your house, you are expecting it to mature about 2 weeks or 1 month so that you can slaughter and enjoy yourself. But human beings, their brain has to develop before all those ones. Cows need to grow quickly, so there is more protein in cow's milk than human milk. Humans need to develop their brain and nerves quickly, so there are less protein and more fat. The higher level of fat in human milk shows this important role in the development of the brain. The human brain develops rapidly during the first year of life, growing faster than the body. Cow's milk is meant for cow's development and growth, while human milk is meant for human baby's development. So you're looking at cow milk for your babies, you are developing a cow.
That flash, where's the flash?
You want to believe it or not. Now I understand when we were in secondary school, there are some children that they live this baby milk. That time you look at them, their parents have money. And when you look at them, they are looking like a Robasina and a hand they grow like chickens. Have you not heard it that time? They are growing like chickens. Because you are growing chickens. And if I can remember some of those my friends in the secondary school, they will be the last. If we are working in the class, and when the result comes, they will be 35 or 40. Their parents will be using money to make the principal to promote them. Because you are just producing a cow. So we thank God for this week of exclusive breastfeeding. God keep us alive for us to get exposed to what we are doing to our children, so that we can begin to correct some of this. Next slide, please. Next slide. Reasons why women do not breastfeed. And that is why we are all gathered here today. When we look at the reasons why women do not breastfeed, then we are going to discuss and strategize, because the aim to improve exclusive breastfeeding is for us to solve the challenges the mothers are having to breastfeed. That's why we are here. What I'm saying is all we have been saying since the week started is, in summary, how do we solve the challenges mothers are having to breastfeed in Nigeria, so that we can achieve at least 50% of exclusive breastfeeding. We have heard poor knowledge, at least you can't give what you don't have. If a mother is knowledgeable, those that face me now are those women that deliver in private hospitals, private clinics, where there are no antenatal classes. No, if you go to our general hospitals today, they have antenatal classes. And somehow they must hear about exclusive breastfeeding. So we have a lot of work in our hands to do. The second one is poor diet. You have heard it, I've already explained that. Poor diet for the mother, the baby girl, the adolescents. We must be able, they must be able to feed well for them to be able to do what they want to do. Lack of care and support from husbands. In fact, there are some husbands that don't want their wives to breastfeed. Yes. Yesterday, I heard in the forum I went to, one of the participants stood up and said that the medical doctor and her wife kept a function. The woman has a newborn baby. And the woman wanted to breastfeed. And the husband shouted at her and said, why is she exposing the breast to the public? That you paid the dowry for it. So, this exclusive breastfeeding, there are so many, the husband is inside it, go. And I want to let husbands know that there is time for everything. If that baby is not exclusively breastfed, wait for the problems in future. Because there is a time the breast will be tired of it. But the comment that has been
has gone. Another lady in my church also, they told me, when I told her that I have an interview with NTA that Sunday about exclusive breastfeeding, and she told me they will invite me, and told me the experience she had, and she was telling me with bitterness. She told me that when she was delivering, when she didn't know anything about exclusive breastfeeding, but it is her doctor that told her that no, I cannot allow my wife to do exclusive breastfeeding, that it is very, very painful. How can a baby be sucking breast without work? And that she told me because she does not have that experience at that time, she doesn't have that knowledge, she too went and bought baby milk and began to feed her baby. So there is need for nutrition education across board. Wherever you are now, we are teaching you. I'm sure the people that came for this ceremony, we are more than 100. So you can imagine if you move this way, I move this way, all of us move northeast, west, and south. And we are talking to about 2 or 3 women every day. They will be changed. Yes. That's why we are change agents. Change agents, the movers and shakers. In your organization, what are you doing there? On the marketplace, what are you doing there? In your community, your village meetings, what are you doing there? Many of us belong to CWOs, Catholic Women Organization of Nigeria. What are you doing there? How many people have you talked to? Let us be change agents, and you will see what will happen in Nigeria. Early return to work or school. In fact, there was something that happened when I was doing masters with malnutrition. There was one of my colleagues in that class, very intelligent. We were my namesake. She was pregnant when we came in. So along the line, she gave birth to her baby. She was coming to class with her baby, coming to class until one day, one of our lecturers walked in, and every woman like this, my mom is blessed memory because she's dead now. She came in and saw this lady with her baby in the class. She shouted and asked her to get out of the class. And warned her never to come to that class any other day with her baby. We were looking. Yes, we were looking. We were perplexed. That lady left the class and her performance dropped. She struggled to go with us. I didn't know whether to graduate. And I hit me because this was one of the people that everybody was admiring. And so there is a need for everybody to support a woman that is breastfeeding. Everybody in my organization. I am a small lecturer in Department of Public Health, National Open University of Nigeria. In my university, we give 16 weeks of maternal leave. The men get 2 weeks of paternal leave. And when the woman, after that maternity leave, she closes by 2 p.m. She comes to work 9 a.m. and closes 2 p.m. for the whole 1 day. And they come to work with their babies. That their office is their crèche. Nobody is telling you do not come with the baby. You will see some of them, they will come with the baby cloth, the baby bed, and they put it by the side. Their nanny or whoever is sitting at one corner. If it is time the baby is disturbing, they will come and carry. If it is breast time, they will bring the baby inside the office to breastfeed. And everybody is happy. The woman is happy working. She's not being absent for one reason or the other. The baby is not sick. She will not tell you today, I'm not coming because the baby is sick. So therefore, every other organization should be able to uphold that type of this thing. Nigeria and Bangladesh signed, adopted International Code of Marketing of Breast Milk Substitutes. Bangladesh is still 6 months of maternity, and their exclusive breastfeeding prevalence double that of Nigeria. Whereas Nigeria is still talking about 15 weeks. So there is a need for policy makers. I know some of us are powerful here. Don't mind that all of us are sitting down. We are not to the same level here. As you see us here, there are some of us that are working with the first lady. There are some that are working in the governor's office. There are some that are working in the president's office.
There are some of us that our signature means a lot in this exclusive breastfeeding. And if we do not do it, we have done a lot of injustice to the unborn child, and even the one that is supposed to be breastfed. We might say, who knows me? I want the table to sit down here and go, oh, we will rejoice. When you live here now, what God will ask you at the end of the day is, what did you do with the knowledge that was given to you? Me, I'm doing my own. You go and do your own. If God asks me, I will say today. So, Father, you know, on 5th of August, CS-SUNN invited me, and I talked about 100 women. Father, you know, I went to this place, 2004. I started this type of thing, and it is still running. So, you, change agents, you must be able to do your own duty. I'm not going to elaborate because of time, but I will just pick the important ones. Another thing I'm going to highlight for us, so that we also educate the mothers that are breastfeeding. A mother that is breastfeeding will not dress like me. If you dress like me, tell me, how are you going to breastfeed? So there are dresses that do not support exclusive breastfeeding. It's just like a pregnant woman. I normally call some of them. You see a woman that is pregnant, she is very hungry, and she's doing like this. I will tell the person, when I see her, we know that, oh, this one doesn't have a mother. There is nobody around her. Because there's something you see, you know that the person doesn't have somebody. So, a woman that is doing exclusive breastfeeding, it's either you saw a blouse that has zip, or the one that has bottom. Even there is exclusive breastfeeding bra. The doctor that was shouting to the wife, it is because the wife didn't know. When I was giving birth to children, I had special breastfeeding bra. That's why it is only the nipple, the other that it will show. And because I have a cloth that has a zip like this, it will not show anything. So you don't just come to the public and you remove your cloth like this. Do you know that there are some men that at the side of their breast, they have tripped off? So the one has to dress it properly. I was in the church last Sunday. I was sitting down like this. A woman with a young baby was also sitting. After some time, she turned to me and said, please, can you help me with my seat? I want to breastfeed. I was wondering what will happen. But she simply brought out a towel, a very clean cloth. And when I opened it, she now gave me, I put it at her back, showing that she was prepared. So a naughty woman that is doing exclusive breastfeeding must be prepared to do breastfeeding. You can step out of the public, go to a quiet place, breastfeed your baby and come back. For the sake of some other people that are around you. Hello. Are you with me? Yes. Am I making sense? Yes. So, we are coming to almost the last, which concerns us. Women leaders are change agents. Please go to that slide. That is page 11, page 22. Women leaders as change agents. We are expected to resolve the above challenges of breastfeeding mothers. Very soon now, when I finish, there will be panel discussion, where we are now going to take decisions. All these challenges we have had, what are we going to do? Maternity leave, crutches, exclusive breastfeeding, friendly exclusive breastfeeding, policies. We are going to go into groups to discuss them, and everybody is involved. How do we move exclusive breastfeeding in Nigeria from 29% to at least 50%? How do we improve exclusive breastfeeding culture in Nigeria? How do we get the government to show political commitment to breastfeeding in Nigeria? How does the organization, those of you working in the private sector, my sister said they only give them 1 month. How do we get them to obey the labor laws? The problem in Nigeria is implementation, not that the laws are not there. How do we get them to implement what at least the 16 weeks? Let everybody enjoy it. How do we get employers to support exclusive breastfeeding?
we can do this through supporting adequate feeding and rest for breastfeeding mothers. When I was breastfeeding, one thing I appreciated from my husband was that he takes care of the baby when the baby is crying in the night. My own is to breastfeed. When the baby is crying, he sits up and looks after the baby so that I can have little rest before I go to work. So husbands, please help our people. Creating breastfeeding friendly environment, counseling, support, lactation management. We must know that those that are selling this breast milk want to remain in business. They do all manner of favors to people that won't put these things in. So how do we monitor them? We are going to have commitments. The Christians, we have commitments towards achieving and supporting exclusive breastfeeding in from the Christian perspectives, and the Muslims will do their own from Islamic perspective. And we are going to do all of them today. And as we do that, God will be taking it for us. Our babies will be happy with us. When you see your baby behaving, you'll be very happy. There's nothing like you're paying school fees and your child is behaving well, passing very well. If they ask you for 5,000, you will give 10. He tells him, mommy, buy me this one. I will buy. Because I know I'm not using the money, I'm not wasting money in doing me well. And as we discuss this afternoon, we discuss what? God give us the wisdom to arrive at the commitments we will take away from here today. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. There's a whole lot of information, technical information. Thank you so very much, ma, for that eye-opening presentation. We appreciate you. Thank you. At this point, we want to go to the next item on the agenda. Okay, there's a hand up. Okay, so let's just take this one comment from Dr. Very much. I want to thank Dr. Chen for that excellent presentation. There is something she touched, being a consultant obstetrician gynecologist, I always feel the Hippocratic oath that should protect the interest of those that ought to be protected. It's a very sensitive area. And I know she's very passionate, just like all of us here are very passionate, you know, to ensure that breastfeeding, like we have established, is an established fact, is the very best. However, I want all of us also, as we go away from here, to be sensitive to the needs of that little percentage of babies who need the BMS to survive. So, in our sensitization, please sensitize very well with scientific facts to ensure that you don't put them in the negative place. What am I saying? The fact that a child is grown on BMS doesn't make that child, I don't know what to say. Yes, even though that comparatively expressed breast milk or naturally delivered breast is the best, there's no competition. So please, because some of us here one way or the other, directly or indirectly, have nurtured babies that are living today, first-class citizens, doing very, very well, who that BMS made them to survive. And that is why we have made it very clear that it's only on strict prescription that it should be used. It's given as a medicine in a very peculiar situation by trained personnel. And it can only even be delivered under the supervision of trained service providers.
So please, even in our passion and our delivery, let's do it in such a way that this little set, we give them their rights and due respect. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Ma, for that wonderful contribution. So we are gradually winding down. At this point, we want to have the panel discussion session. So we'll do a little adjustment to our sitting arrangement. A little readjustment. We want to please urge those behind us just help us stand a bit for a few minutes. Our tables will have to be moved and then our seats will be rearranged while we move these tables backward so that we can have our panelists sit this way. Sorry, our hall is, yes, very big, gigantic. So we have to fit in properly. In less than 5 minutes, logistics, please, we should be done with this. Okay, so while that rearrangement is going on, not to worry, you'll get your seats. You know, you have a place to sit. It's just your tables for now so that we can have some maximum space. Sorry, sincerely apologize. We apologize for that.
Is it enough?
Sorry.
Hello.
Okay. So we achieved that. I think it's fine. We can work with the table, yeah. We're looking at the size of it. Sorry for the distraction, please. Sorry for keeping the understanding. So once they have panel discussion session, women leaders and their roles in improving exclusive breastfeeding. I would want to invite the NSN chair, FCT chapter, our own Dr. Florence Uchendo. Can we please appreciate as she comes up? She's one of our panelists. Let's keep that in place. Also on our list of panelists, we have our own great-grandmother, the president of the Market Women and Men Association of Nigeria. Can we please appreciate her as she comes up? Chief Mrs. Felicia Sani, OON, great-grandma, you're welcome. We will also have the chairperson of NAWAJ, FCT chapter, Nigerian Association of Nigerian Journalists. Comrade Anna Daniel, please, can she come up? NAWAJ, she stepped out. Okay, so we have the Assistant General Secretary of the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, FCT chapter, Mrs. Nanman Filimon Cash. Please, can you come forward, ma'am? Can we appreciate her? Also on the list, we have a member of the Young Women Christian Association of Nigeria,
tattara 'ya'yan kawai ba ba san tana rayuwa. Ai riga an tattara 'ya'yan ka gani. Ita kuma dan ubanta idan ta ce ta zauna da ɗauko ɗaya